Guys, I'm sure many of you know FTX just filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy and just took the whole crypto space down with it. If you're not sure what exactly happened, we'll go through the events in this video on how they lead up to this moment. FTX founder and CEO Sam Bankman-Fried was not always portrayed as an evil person as he is now. He was known for his arbitrage trading, huge investments like Solana, and also at his peak had a net worth of 206 billion US dollars. He did not just found FTX, he also found a sister company, Alameda Research. And Alameda Research was the company that he used in order to make many more investments within the space and also acquire other companies. In recent times, FTX has actually led a fundraising round for projects such as Aptos, and it was a huge success on launch. However, this momentum just died out slowly, and also the recent news about FTX just took down the project. During the Terra Luna crisis, he portrayed himself as an invincible person. He started doing a very aggressive expansion plan, trying to buy out BlockFi for 240 million US dollars, trying to get Voyager's assets when they were going bust, and also offered Celsius a bailout if they needed to. This all went well until some cracks started to appear. Suddenly, the sister company Alameda Research, the CEO Sam Trubacco, suddenly resigned out of nowhere, and a month later, the president of FTX, Brett Harrison, also stepped down. Having these two key figures in your company suddenly step out is a huge red flag to investors, and also people became really sus about what's going on in the company as a whole. Sam Bankman-Fried, known as SBF, actually had a lot of interest in politics, and during the midterm elections he contributed around like 50 million US dollars, and he also did make a pledge of $1 billion in 2024 elections, but actually backtracked on that statement. Now that you guys know that you have a brief context that he actually supports the politics in the US, he actually did support a bill called the DCCPA bill, which is bad for DeFi as a whole, as the bill was actually against DeFi, and the public sentiment towards him shifted, because the public sentiment towards him at first was he was like a savior or someone who actually wanted to help crypto. However, when he supported this bill, the public sentiment suddenly shifted. Even key figures like Bitboy Crypto spoke out against the bill, and it was actually a harmful thing towards the space instead of a productive one. There was this interview with Eric Voorhees from Bankless with SBF questioning his stance on KYC for the decentralized space. Let me show you guys this clip because this clip went actually viral, and just take a look at it.
Why is Aave somehow different than email?
So, why is it different than email?
You argued so well and so passionately to not block email with licensing and KYC. I loved hearing that.
Yep.
That filled my soul with joy. Such good arguments. Why does that not apply to financial transactions?
So, why does it not apply to financial transactions? I think there are a few things here. So, first of all,
I mean, after watching this clip, you're probably wondering like what the hell is he talking about, and he doesn't even know what is he standing for. But it's from this then onwards is where the public sentiment suddenly shifted and people really started not trusting him already as a person. Now you guys know a little bit of the backstory of SBF. Let's go on to the recent news. Earlier on this month, there was actually concerns for Alameda's balance sheet. All was revealed during the balance sheet is that the majority of the net equity that was held in Alameda was actually FTX controlled native token FTT. They had assets totaling around 14.6 billion in total, but their biggest asset was FTT at 3.66 billion, while 2.16 billion was FTT collateral. Furthermore, there was more FTT locked up in their liabilities, worth around 292 million worth of FTT tokens. Alameda Research also had a total liability of 8 billion US dollars. These assets can't be valued at this kind of price, as their sister company FTX printed these tokens. So essentially, FTX could have just printed these tokens out of nowhere and just given it to Alameda Research to hold it to make their balance sheet seem big. After this balance sheet was leaked, there was more FUD in the space about FTX and also what's going on in Alameda Research. FUD actually stands for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. This is what happens when the crypto investors don't know what to do or what's going on because there's no clear transparency from the leadership of FTX. After this FUD was going on in the community, we suddenly saw a transfer of 584 million worth of FTT into BINANCE. CZ, the CEO of BINANCE, confirmed that this was their transfer and they executed it. Since they were one of the early investors in FTX, he decided to actually withdraw the FTT token because he wanted to learn from what happened with Luna and did not want to repeat the same mistake. He then went on to state that he won't support people who lobby against other industry players behind their backs. This resulted in a 15% drop in FTT at the time, and the CEO of Alameda offered Binance to buy its FTTs at $22 to reduce the market impact. However, in the crypto space, this was like a red flag to many investors that the CEO of Alameda Research suddenly reached out and say, hey, I will buy your token, because it might be a sign that the market does not have enough liquidity. This happened a lot with many CEOs trying to steady the ship during rough waters, but then it looks like it didn't play out this time. A lot of crypto investors has experienced this through BlockFi and Voyager and Celsius, so people didn't want to take the risk and started withdrawing their assets. Therefore, FTX actually suffered a major bank run, and suddenly people started seeing their withdrawal time be up to 4 hours to 8 hours, and then until they suddenly stopped withdrawals fully. Most of these funds withdrawing from FTX was actually going to Binance, so CZ actually did a really good thing in portraying himself as a person who knew what was going on and wanted to be for the people. After FTX stopped withdrawals, it is confirmed that they did not have enough money to pay people out, and Binance offered a letter of intent to buy out FTX. When Binance was actually offering a LOI to FTX, this was seen in the crypto space like such a good thing because maybe a good acquisition is coming out of it and trying to save a sinking ship. However, within 24 hours, the Binance team suddenly put out a statement saying after their due diligence, it's out of their control and beyond their ability to help. This sent FTX token into a spiral all the way downwards, causing a lot of people to lose money, whoever has invested in FTX. Now at this moment, every investor in FTX at this time can't withdraw their assets and also can't even sell. SBF then went on to issue an apology on Twitter by tweeting that he fucked up and he is so sorry for what happened. However, he did try to bring some positive light into this by trying to talk to some investors to raise more funds for liquidity for FTX. He is stressing fully that he wants to help support the customers and he is gonna put the customers first. But I don't know about this, he might be trying just to ease off his reputation being damaged too much and just trying to act like he's doing something. After 1 or 2 days telling us that he's trying to talk to investors to raise liquidity for FTX, suddenly FTX filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And this included FTX US, by the way. A funny thing is, he did tweet that FTX US was fully solvent and can pay off 100% of customers' assets on that platform. He did state that FTX International is only affected and not the US, but it's a funny thing that he also used FTX US in the Chapter 11 bankruptcy filings. Just when you thought things can't get worse for FTX, during the filing of Chapter 11 bankruptcy, they got hacked for around $600 million US. It's rumored to say that it was a lead developer that was working for FTX last time, because SBF has asked the lead developer to build a backdoor within the code so he can withdraw funds out without notifying any accounting teams. However, this is just still a rumor, so don't believe this fully, as we are still waiting for confirmation on what exactly happened. Generally, this is all what the events has taken place and also what has happened to FTX currently. If you're wondering how did FTX suddenly didn't have any liquidity to pay out its customers, it's pretty simple. FTX basically transferred $10 billion worth of customer funds into Alameda Research for trading purposes. This then removed a lot of assets from FTX, and also now they did not have much funds to pay out its customers. As Alameda Research used these assets to start investing into other companies and also start trading. During this bear market, you see a lot of markets going down, so therefore it's also safe to assume that Alameda Research actually lost a lot of money on their trades. What's funny is though, anyone who bought Bitcoin on FTX was actually not buying real Bitcoin, as they did not even have Bitcoin in their assets list. Customers was actually purchasing more of an IOU from FTX, so basically they owe the customers Bitcoin, as they did not actually have Bitcoin on their platform to sell. These people acting within the space is giving such crypto a bad name, because there's many projects out there and also founders doing right by the community. But people like these selling an IOU and lying to people that funds are backed up 1-to-1 is really hurting the confidence of retail investors and trying to bring on the next billion or 2 billion people onto the crypto space. Furthermore, FTX did not even learn anything from the Luna crash, as they over-collateralized their assets and use FTT tokens as collateral to borrow even more assets to fund any purchases they wanted to make. As what CZ tweeted, it's better not to loan any money to run your crypto business, because crypto is really volatile and you don't know what will happen during any moment. If you have debt in the form of crypto, you might be very vulnerable whenever the market acts this way. You should instead have more large reserves set aside, just in case customers panic and do a bank run on the exchange. However, since FTX did not do all of this, they end up over-collateralizing their assets, they end up borrowing funds and also not have a large reserve. This led to the fall of FTX. That's basically how they did not have enough liquidity to pay out people. In summary, they just basically take your funds and give it to someone else to trade. And that trading firm ended up not performing well as it did, and therefore the money was lost and it can't be given back to FTX. Anyways, that's the general things of what's going on with FTX at the moment. However, just a little conspiracy for you guys. There was some rumor going around in Twitter that FTX transferred the funds to Alameda Research, and Alameda Research was the one that helped took down Luna. CZ knew about this and he warned SBF not to do this kind of thing anymore, yet he did it again to 3AC, bringing them down, and CZ knew that he was working with regulators trying to bring down the DeFi space, and therefore exposed him with the famous tweet of BINANCE selling the FTT token. This tweet famously started the ripple effect and caused FTX to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Anyways, just a little conspiracy from you guys. You can take it as it is, or you can try to look more into it. I thought it was pretty interesting to share it, because if he was actually involved with Terra Luna, then this is not the only thing that he just crashed the market with. Ending off this video, I really want to say that you guys should keep your money off exchanges at the moment, because exchanges actually can freeze your funds so you can't withdraw them out. I would suggest you guys get a hot wallet like MetaMask or Trust Wallet, or get a cold wallet like Ledger. This will help you keep your assets safe and to ensure that you actually own these assets. Remember guys, not your keys, not your coins. You gotta keep your funds safe and out of centralized exchanges for now, as we do not know what other exchanges were actually affected from FTX fall. Stay safe guys, don't forget to like and subscribe for this video. A lot of effort was made to compile all this information into a summary for you guys to understand what happened. Alright, see you guys, I'll catch you in the next video.